Once I get the track off, I like to go ahead and clean up all this dirt and debris that's all packed in everywhere. So this is going to take me a little bit, and but it's worth it, I think, because it keeps the area kind of cleaner and it doesn't get so just gritty and dirty while you're putting everything back together new again. Now that we've got everything cleaned up, you can see it's looking pretty good, ready for to get these idlers removed and to get all the bogies removed. So 9/16, the bogies have 2 bolts that hold a plate, this plate right here that holds the axle assembly in. The idlers front and rear have 4 9/16 bolts, head bolts, and they hold a plate on that holds the idler assembly in from this side. So these drop out from the bottom, these go in from each end, the front and rear. So I'm going to go through with the impact and pull all these bolts out and get them ready to be rebuilt. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of these bolts and remove all the assemblies to get ready to replace all of the wheels on the axle assemblies. Got all the bolts removed on the majority of these bogies, and you can see when you take the front ones, I like to take the front ones off and then take the back ones off, the inside ones out. Then all you do is you just pick up on the bogie like that and it falls right out. So now they're ready to be repaired. Still got to pull these idlers off, but it's the same thing. They just slide out this way, just right out of there. So I got all the bogies off and the bogie assemblies here, and these things are caked with dirt. So I'm just going to go through here and chisel all this off, but each of these have 8 bolts on each bogie wheel, and these take a 9/16 on here. So I'm going to use this right angle impact and slide down in here like this and break these loose. So let's try it out. Works perfect. So yeah, I'm going to go through all these, break them all down, and I already started over here and I got a lot of these done already, so they're ready for the new aluminum wheels. So let me finish getting these apart, and the idlers also have 8 bolts each also, and I'll show you one of those in just a minute. So we've got one of the idlers here. They're both the same, and still they have 8 bolts on both sides here, and these are 3/4 instead of the other ones being 9/16. So go ahead and back these off here, and let's try this out, this impact here on these. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Alright, so I'm going to take all these out and then we'll start putting the new stuff together. We've got all of our idler assemblies together and torqued down, tightened up. Not really torqued, we just tightened them all up. And got all of our bogies assemblies ready to go. And the way I like to do the bogies, and well really the idlers, I think I just manhandled those in, but putting them on this floor jack and jacking them up inside of the groove that's right here for the axle to sit in really helps. It kind of holds it all steady for me. But do make sure that you have these grooves on the axle right here. You'll want to make sure those are turned straight up and down, or it'll be really hard to get your plate in back here because it'll all be twisted around. So let's see if we can get this one in here. So all I do, so here's those grooves right here. If you can see those right there, I want to make sure that's straight up and down, just like that. Then we want to slide in. We want to make sure our orientation of our bolt heads are correct. the way they came out from the factory are the smooth side of the carriage bolt is obviously on the outside. Then when you put together the middle, you put together all of the carriage bolts facing one direction on the solid part of the shaft. So there's a plate on the middle of the shaft and a solid part of the shaft. Anyway, so they go on there. So that way the orientation is correct, at least the way it was from the factory. So the floor jack isn't the easiest thing to use on the dirt, but I think we'll be okay. I'm just making some minor adjustments there, and it'll kind of shift around a little bit. So I'm watching the back side here, getting that into the groove, and then gonna need to pull this backwards just a little bit to line that up. And just like that, it's in. So I'm just gonna leave the jack holding it up while I go get the plates and put those on the outside, the outboard, and the inboard side of the just assembly here. So once I've got the bogie jacked up and in place, I'm going to put the plate on here. You can see how the orientation of this plate was. This part would hang down underneath of here when it was installed originally. So I'm going to continue with that. You can see the inside of it looks like that when I pulled them all off. So let's see if we can get this started on the groove. I've got 2 bolts here. All right, there you go. It kind of got started there. It might help to clean them up. I've got my little hammer here. It's just what's left of an old ball peen I found at my grandfather's house. Perfect for driving that up in there. It's probably just some dirt in there or something. There we go. So once you get it in there, you'll see it has a little bit of play to it. So you have to kind of line up these bolt holes with the threaded holes in the plate. So there's that one, just like that. Okay, looks like it still had some dirt, so it wouldn't let it go up all the way, but there you go. Got it that time. So we'll go ahead and run these up and put the plate on the other side. Got a 9/16 on our Milwaukee Fuel right angle impact. Let's give this a shot. I've got it set on number 3. I thought I had it on number 3. There we go. Now we got it on 3. And that's good and tight. So now we're going to go ahead and get the plate on the back side. Exact same procedure. So, alright, we got that in there. No problem at all. Just rinse and repeat there for the rest of them. And when I get to the idlers, I'll show you how those go on. Alright, we got all the bogies in, bolted up, tightened down. Now we're going to go ahead and work on this idler here. And this, you want to have the same, these shafts in the same kind of configuration, but you can go ahead and slip these plates on both sides, because this is what it uses to hold the axle into place. So this bolts into here, the axle shaft just slides into this groove right here. So I'm using the jack again to hold everything up for me, so I don't have to sit here and manhandle it or person handle it. And so we get everything lined up. And then I've just let's see here, kind of lower it down a little bit, get it started, and then it slides right in. Maybe lower it down just a little bit more. There we go. Just like that. And now that's off of the jack and into the groove. So now all you do is you just grab you some bolts. Got my bucket of bolts. There's 4 bolts on this side, 4 bolts on the other side, and all of them are still 9/16. So I'm going to run them up with my little impact here and call it good. So get this one in, and then go ahead and get the front one in, and we'll be ready to rebuild the drive sprocket.